Greetings, geeks and nerds. I'm Lazy Universe and White Nerdy, and I finally got the chance to sit my ass down and actually watch, enjoy, and now I'm gonna do a review slash retrospective slash whatever that you want to call it that I review here on YouTube, or do my reviews here on YouTube. And I'm gonna be reviewing and talking about the newest Godzilla and King Kong movie, Godzilla Vs Kong: The New Empire. This will be my review upon Godzilla Vs Kong: The New Empire, so if nobody has seen Godzilla Vs Kong: The New Empire yet, just to let people know and be forewarned that there might be some spoilers within this review. So please go and watch Godzilla Vs Kong before you watch this review so you know what's going on. Otherwise, if you don't want to be here and you don't want this movie spoiled, then you've been warned once again, spoilers. Now, when I reviewed Godzilla vs. Kong the first time, not the second time, I actually said that the movie was decent and good, but the movie was very flawed. And the same can be said for Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire, as this movie is definitely just like its predecessor before it. And what's weird is that Godzilla vs. Kong came out in basically the pandemic era, and this one had a little bit more time to kind of sizzle or sit in the oven and kind of bake and become something special. And then when you stop and look at this, it didn't become something special, but necessarily that Warner Brothers technically repeated the same formula, not once, but yet again twice. And I think that that's the worst part. And it became very apparent to me that this actually was pretty much repeated from the same film. And also what's repeated from Godzilla vs. Kong is that it had mostly the same cast from that movie carried on over, except you don't, aside from Eileen and Gia, you won't care about Bernie or Trapper this time around. And I promise you that you won't even care about Bernie or Trapper. But the film, and especially Adam Wingard as director, really did a tremendous job at capturing kind of the human side of the monsters. And keep in mind, Godzilla X Kong was not supposed to be a Godzilla and King Kong movie, but instead a King Kong standalone movie. But Adam Wingard went, oh yeah, we had a Godzilla vs. Kong movie. And he kind of technically threw in Godzilla at last minute, and you can kind of feel that, as Godzilla did not get much love, except towards the ending. He kind of gets like 2 or 3 scenes, and then he saved until the ending, and you really do feel that. But we'll come back to that. But I have to say, I really do love I really love my bad, how Adam Wingard really captured kind of like the human side of King Kong, for goodness sakes. As we know that King Kong is, yes, a monster, but Adam Wingard definitely captures a more human side of King Kong that pretty much we've never seen in movie form before. This is made more true when Kong actually finds another species of Kongs around, where he actually meets Mini Kong, and he actually thinks that he has a newfound or new discovered family. But that isn't true once he discovered the mad tyrant known as Skull King in this film, who I have to say is a pretty interesting King Kong villain that I wish they played around with more. Like, there is a legend in the movie behind Skull King, but they don't do much about Skull King. It's just that he is this benevolent tyrant that basically overruns these monkeys. It kind of makes you wonder, like, if there's more to the side of Skull King that we had never seen before. It's like, how did he become this ruthless tyrant? And why does everybody fear him? What is the thing with him? When we know why people fear him in the movie, but the thing is, I kind of wish that there was a little bit more like storytelling to kind of give us a good reason as to, like, okay, he's a bad tyrant. He's the big bad in the movie. But what makes him this fearsome, tyrant? And again, we get a fucking backstory with Godzilla not liking the Kong so much, and it's like, okay. You don't need to throw Godzilla into the mix every single time and expect to come out with something new, because there's a possibility that you're not going to come out with something new. You're going to come out with something very, very extremely annoying. But I have to say, for this new villain that was created for the movie, it's like, it's nice for them to fucking actually make a new villain, instead of like depending on the old back then. This is why I love the Kong Skull Island so much when I actually saw it, was because it's like you actually give us like new villains instead of like generic T Rexes and stuff like that. It's like you give us something new and creative, which is why I love Skull King and Shimo in the movie. Is because it's like you give us something brand new to basically love and appreciate about the series. And yes, I will admit that I was terrified of Skull King. This is a guy that who basically, if you look at him the wrong way, he will kill you. And I absolutely adore the design of Shimmer because it feels like something mystic, but also kind of like something like old school, like maybe just like borrowed or copied off of like the Gamma or four-legged version. But I have to say that Shimmer and Skull King are by far a ruthless combination in the film. And again, I really do adore and appreciate the design of Shimmer. I think that it was beautiful, but also at the same time something definitely very threatening. And it makes you wonder about the film, like what's actually gonna happen? Will Kong become the new king of these giant gorillas, or will he just fall to the power of Skull King? One could only hope. And I love the small scene, sort of like hinting at Son of Kong with Shimo hanging around with King Kong, basically looking up to him as the big brother. It's a nice little thing that the movie added in. It's a nice touch. And yes, like I said, Godzilla is in the movie and he is the protector of Earth. He is this earthbound protector. He's protecting everybody from the Titan creatures that are around. And I'm thankful that Godzilla is, yes, basically the protector, the king of the monsters and everything. As it's so wonderful to see him basically in a role that he just deserves. I have to admit, yes, I really do love that Gia is back in the movie, and I really do like her character. I love the actress that plays her. She does a very tremendous and wonderful job with the role that she's given. As Gia even finds her people, she finds her way back to the Iwi tribe, only for something stupid to actually happen with her character that I do not want to spoil in this review. Because when the reveal with Gia actually came to be, I'm like, they're not going to. They went there. I was like, oh dear God. You know the movie Monster Zero or Godzilla King Ghidorah Mothra Giant Monsters All Attack? That's technically what this movie is. That's technically Godzilla X Kong in a nutshell. It's technically like there is a big bad evil, but this time it's not Godzilla, that is in the mixture, or not King Ghidorah, but three monsters have to team up to kick ass. Yeah, that when I noticed that, I'm kind of like, that is an awesome Easter egg, but also kind of like, it's unoriginal. And people, when I seen other YouTubers review this movie, they all were talking about how it's kind of like the old school Godzilla, like the 70s to 80s kind of Godzilla, the more ridiculous side of Godzilla. And I definitely can see that here. I definitely see the influence. But at the same time, I'm kind of like rubbing my head, going, "God damn it, Wingard! Like you can't have an idea that's new or original aside from Skull King and aside from Skull King and Shimo and him bringing back the Iwi tribe only to bring a mysterious monster into the form. I'm not gonna spoil her. I was like, God damn it, Wingard, do you not have any original ideas for the fucking life of you? You know, and it's like you already ruined one supervillain monster with Mechagodzilla. I hate that design. But then again, you were like, that's not enough. I need to ruin, somebody else's thing with Mothra. And I kind of do like that they try. Yes, I accidentally spoiled it. My bad. But yes, Mothra does get involved in the film, and she's involved with the Iwi tribe. And I'm like, well, that's an interesting concept. I more like the idea that Mothra is a mysterious figure for the American audience. Like, we don't need her to be somewhere. She can just be this mysterious protector that just comes and basically protects us all. I didn't need this thrown into the mixture, is all I'm trying to say. But aside from Eileen and Gia, you won't care about Bernie and Trapper. You won't care about Bernie and Trapper anymore than you need to be. And the Iwi people, it's like you don't really will care about the Iwi tribe either because it's like we're the last living tribe that lives here, and you can guess what they do with Gia. I don't need to say it. A bunch of you already guessed what they do with Gia, and you're right. They try to do the I don't fit in because I'm different thing because she's a teenager, and I'm like we know that teenagers sometimes feel like they don't fit in, or young adults in general, and it's like, God damn it, Wingard! Like, could you stop throwing these ideas at the dartboard to see what sticks and whatnot? But I do have to say the movie does redeem itself towards the end, especially when Godzilla and Kong go, you know something? We gotta actually team up. You and me, we gotta do this. We gotta take down these monsters. It's time for a Godzilla and Kong Smackdown, baby. As I'm not kidding here, the final, 20 minutes of the movie is nothing but a big blown out fight scene, and I absolutely love that about this movie. Like, this movie reminded us why we love Godzilla and King Kong so much, and the final fight scene is definite proof of why I still love and adore these movies so much. Like, it's not the greatest fight scene ever put to screen, but I can definitely say, without a doubt, it is one of the most enjoyable fight scenes that's ever put to screen, especially for a movie like this. And if there's one thing that I can pick that I can trash this movie for before I give it my final Funko Pop rating, is the ending. It feels so rushed of an ending because basically nothing happens after they defeat Scar King and save Shimo. Yeah, they actually save Shimo in this movie, and she goes back with King Kong and Mini Kong to basically trying to save these other Kongs. Basically, King Kong is Moses. Let his people go, I get suppose. I actually just thought of that while doing this review of huh, basically this is almost kind of like Prince of Egypt just with kaijus, which is weird. But I have to say, the ending really did suck. Like, they try to speed everything up and quick run everything. It's like they mostly wanted to focus on Eileen and Gia for this movie, which again, I really do like both of those characters, especially Gia, because I'm a deaf person. So just seeing her kind of like be like me, it's kind of like a nice little touch in there that she doesn't feel like she belongs. It's not like nobody picks on her for being deaf or anything. It's just that she just feels like she doesn't belong because she's not like everyone else. And I'm pretty sure for other people out there from different religions, for like being Native American or African American or Japanese or Chinese, you all at one point felt like you didn't belong. So I do have to commemorate the film for doing that, and I have to commemorate Adam Wingard for doing that. But at the same time, I don't like the rushed ending where Gia goes, "I don't belong with my people," even though she kind of bitched about that for a majority of the movie. She goes, "I belong with you, mother," and I'm like, the way that it was done too, it's kind of like I almost did cry. I kind of teared up a little bit. I'm like, okay, that's beautiful. I gotta hand it to him. Um, but yeah, the rush ending for Godzilla and Kong is like, yeah, Kong basically becomes Moses and Godzilla takes a nap. Wonderful conclusions for these monsters. This is going to be the last time that we see them. I mean, wonderful conclusion. They already are talking about Godzilla X Kong 2, and it's like, guys, if you're doing a sequel to this movie, please take your time. Don't rush these movies, okay? Don't. Please, for goodness sakes, do not rush these movies because otherwise you're going to end up rushing them again and it's going to be enjoyable just like Godzilla vs Kong. or no, or it's going to be rushed like this one again, and we don't want that to happen. Please give love and full attention to these movies. Make sure that they come out decent or just decently good, not just above the bar just a little bit. Please take your damn time. With that all said and done, I do have to talk about my Funko Pop rating for Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. Yes, I do recommend it. As I will admit that most parts, especially with the humans, will be like padding, 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 padding. It's always gonna be padding, padding, padding. But when you get to the monster stuff, it actually becomes really damn enjoyable, and it almost could have been like the monsters could have starred in this movie without having the you know the cast members, but then again, you have to have the cast members. The problem is that it's not a good balance like it was in Godzilla King of the Monsters 2019. It's more boring like it was in Godzilla vs Kong. So my Funko Pop rating though for Godzilla X Kong the New Empire, I am going to give it an honorable rating of a magic because definitely, actually no, not a magic. I'm going to give it a Funko Pop rating of a Megazord because while it does look a little bit mysterious and like you haven't seen it before, at the same time, you kind of have, and there's that nice touch of nostalgia that's just blended in there, even though it kind of looks different to us here. So my Funko Pop rating of Godzilla X Kong the New Empire is going to have to be a Megazord. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you can be notified every single time I make an upload. And also follow me at Twitter, the link in the description down below. And let me know what you thought about Godzilla X Kong the New Empire. Do you think it's a unique throwback? Do you think that it's not the best Godzilla movie that you've seen? Or do you think that it's a nice blend of the monsters kind of like coming together? Or do you think that it could have worked better as a King Kong standalone film rather than having Godzilla thrown into the mixture? Let me know in the comment section down below. But anyway, guys, I'm Legion Universe. Have a white nerdy, keep eking on. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you be notified every single time I make an upload. And feel free to share these videos around the internet. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm Legion Universe. Have a white nerdy, keep eking on. And until next time, and as always, guys, take care.